lot happening with that, but that's okay. I'm glad to be back with you all, and I'm glad to be back in this room that doesn't smell like mildew. So I'm going to do roll call. Parliamentarian Adams. Here. Comms Director Bradley. Here. Treasurer Carey. Here. Chief of Staff Graysinger is excused. President McLaughlin is also excused. I am here. Graphic Design Coordinator Pugh. Here. Recording Secretary Steiner. DEI Chair Williams just let me know he's not going to be here as well. And PPT Fornatera.
Here.
All right. Senator Balfe, I do not have an excuse for. Senator Cebulski, I also do not have an excuse for. Senator Dixon. Here. Senator Mahone.
Here.
Senator Wraith is excused. Senator Pliska.
Here.
Senator Rango.
Here.
Senator Sala.
Here.
Senator Richards.
Here.
Senator Mendoza and Senator Palermo are also excused. Senator Osteen.
Here.
All right, wonderful. With that, we move to the approval of the minutes. Long minutes, long meeting. Anybody got anything to add? All right, a motion to approve the minutes? All right, PPT Fornatera, do you have a second? Senator Mahone, wonderful. With that, we will move to the approval of the agenda. Any additions to the agenda? All right, if not, a motion to approve? Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so we have a draft of a statement that we want to put out to like circulate to other clubs, ask them to sign on to, and then give to the administration that is basically saying follow the city of Pittsburgh in not cooperating with ICE if they try to harass our students. I just sent an email to everyone like 2 minutes ago with the like very bare bones kind of sentiment that we want to get across. If people think it's good as it is, maybe we could vote on it today, but probably not. Just send me your suggestions for it if you want it to be more, or just let me know if you think it's good, and then we can vote on it next week.
If you wanted to talk more about it open floor, you can.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, with that, a motion to approve the agenda. Senator Pliska, do we have a second? PPT Fornatera. With that, the agenda is approved. Wonderful. Now goes to our first open floor. Does anybody have anything for our first open floor?
Yes, as it turns out. So the current text that we have is, we, the Student Government Association and the below student organizations, call on the administration of Point Park University to follow the city of Pittsburgh in refusing to cooperate with ICE raids and to put out a comprehensive plan to protect the safety and well-being of immigrant, LGBTQ+, and other vulnerable students. It feels kind of short and bare minimum to me right now, like it's, I think, just one sentence long, but that might be all that's needed. I don't know.
Do you think we should add, do you think there should be something added in there about supporting other like companies or brands that do like support ICE? Because I know there's some companies that like have called ICE on their own employees when we carry some of their brands.
Yeah, and like actually in that vein, we should probably also include like people's rights. Like they don't have to cooperate unless there's a signed warrant and such.
I think those would be valuable additions to it. And if we want to add those things, I think probably doing it next week is probably going to be best. We can craft it and everybody can look at it and I can pull it up.
Yeah.
If that's cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, does anybody else? Yeah.
Hey y'all. I just have a couple things I want to say to everyone that Dylan, Kyle, and myself have talked about. This is just for the general legislative body and everyone here. I just want to reiterate that the space of SGA is one that is meant for discussion. It's one that's meant for debate and speaking and bringing up the things that we're passionate about and the things that may take a long time, may make people uncomfortable. It's a space that's meant to have those hard talks or challenge ourselves or push ourselves in those directions. And I understand that there have been times when we, as an executive cabinet, have been very relaxed about senator expectations, but I just want to reiterate that it is expected of you to do your hours, to give your reports, to let us know what you are doing for the betterment of the school, and just to reiterate that technically we have this space reserved until 5 o'clock. And I understand that our meetings have been running short on average and that there have been some meetings that have run longer. It is expected that you have the space and the time to be here until 5 o'clock if it is absolutely necessary. And truth be told, if that is something that you feel as though you can't commit to or something that you feel is just not for you, I'll put it bluntly, this is not the space where you should be. So just to reiterate that we want people here that are passionate about the work, that want to make the school a better place and want to see students of all kinds succeed, and that we give people the space to talk about what's important to them. So I just want to reiterate that. I think you all are doing a great job. I just ask that, even though we may be relaxed about it, we still expect professionalism, and so just things to keep in mind. But nonetheless, I think all of you are doing a wonderful job. That's just something I want to reiterate.
Thank you, Arthur. Does anybody else have anything else for our first open floor? All right, with that, we will move to reports of the executive cabinet. Kyle is not here today, and I have a report from them that is quite long, so bear with me. I'm just gonna read it from them. They said, hi everybody, sorry for not being there. I've had a family emergency in Philly that I need to take care of this past week, and it has been fairly productive though. Myself and Kyle met with Amarayo from BSU to clarify things for the DC trip, which is set to go. And Kyle says, and I say, thank you to Amarayo for emailing again about the waiver, because we have received the waiver now. As well, Kyle and I met with Keely and Gieske, and we discussed a number of topics, especially about clarification of Trump's administration and how that's going to be affecting our school as we're private. Kyle said a clarification of our school's policy changes regarding the Title IX office, as well as the possibility of any other changes which might occur due to the Trump administration, which right now, none of the things that are going through as we're private are affecting us currently, but it's something that we should keep an eye on and make sure that we are communicating with our advisors about, making sure if we need to take any steps for that. Kyle said as well, had a meeting with Chief of Staff Graysinger and VP Peterson to discuss details of PCD, which we've got our official date and more details ironed out, which I will mention when we get there. I have that in my report as well. Had a follow-up meeting about the Multicultural Fest to iron out details. Also spoke to last year's DEI chair, Alicia Broyer, and received the last year's MCF finals just so we can cross-reference and maybe use some of the same artists as last year. As well, Kyle said that we secured details for the SGA banquet with myself and Treasurer Geary, which I will speak on a little bit more as well. They said that they are working on rescheduling a meeting with interim provost Sherry Payne and President Crusalis. As well, Kyle met with the LCS department, as well as the lead negotiator of the faculty union, and discussed student concerns under Trump administration, along with Senator Mahone and the poli-sci students. And like we were talking about, they said we will be crafting an SGA statement for you to vote on, and are hoping to get a number of student orgs to sign off on this as well. We are primarily hoping to state SGA's zero tolerance for hate or harassment of any kind, and to call on the school to state their willingness to support marginalized students and allow and follow the city of Pittsburgh's lead in not complying with ICE searches without a proper warrant. Kyle is also working on setting a date for the sit down with the president's meeting with all the presidents from all of the clubs on campus. They're also hoping to discuss interest in organization representatives and appointed senators with major student organizations. So this is going to be a big, overhaul. If we do something like this, it'll be a big project, but we're talking about implementing representatives for all of our clubs. If anybody's interested in sharing thoughts and helping us build that, please let myself or Kyle know. As well, Kyle said that they are working to meet with athletic representatives, and they've spoken with Scott Swain, and he is working to provide them with a list of coaches and team captains. And then as well, Kyle said that they were still waiting on the breakdown of the student activities fee, which we have reached back out about this week and haven't heard anything yet. They said, that's all for me. I apologize again for my absence and appreciate all of your continued commitment to the organization. So that was lovely. Who's ready to hear mine? That's not going to be useful. Mine is, we finally received the DC waiver. If you're going on the trip, make sure you fill it out. It should be in your email as soon as possible is best. And if you want to go, there are a few seats still available if you turn $10 into a sale office. And that trip is on Saturday. Kyle and I spoke to identity group clubs and artists about the Multicultural Festival, and we had an update meeting with all of those things. About all those things, we have another one coming up. Not much progress at the moment for hearing back from them, but I will keep y'all in the loop. As well, like Kyle mentioned, we met with Chief of Staff Brasinger about PCD. That's going to be April 2nd in the Fishbowl from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we're still in its early planning stages, but it is going to be a set of tables that are likely going to be have multiple service projects as well as games, things like that. But we're still ironing those things out. And then as well, I met with President McLaughlin and Treasurer Geary about the annual SGA banquet. We're doing some planning on that right now. It's going to be April 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. in the conference room 701 right next to our office. And we've just started talking about catering, about awards, about decorations, things like that. But that's basically it for me. Chief Staff Brasinger's not here, so I would go to Parliamentary Adams.
Hello again, everybody. We have one constitution to look at today in new business, the International Students Club. We have the president of the organization with us today, Julia. So when we get there, I'll have Julia speak a little bit more about the club and its purposes. Other than that, I am in process of finishing up the Sign Up Genius form, which I will then send to Keely towards getting it out to SGA presidents so that they can schedule time with me and or Christian or Sienna to get this big overhaul done. That's it.
All right, thank you. As well, DEI Chair Williams is not here, but I have a report for him. Maybe. He didn't say any big updates, actually. He just said all of the multicultural things that we already said. Unless y'all want me to read it, we can move on. Recording Secretary Steiner.
I have nothing to report other than I will be making everyone name badges for the dry erase boards in the office so we can write what we're working on instead of it looking all jumbled up and having no space for people. So.
Thank you. Treasurer Geary?
Alright, so among all the different meetings that have already been discussed, multicultural fair and the banquet, I spent this weekend cleaning up the internal budget files, so everything is good to go and straightened out with Spring 1 now. Processed the extra funding that we discussed at last meeting. We have an emergency funding thing to look at today. I sent the DC checklist to print, and I have a meeting with Dean Palo about the student activities fee scheduled with Senator Balfe after this meeting, so I'm excited about that. Also processed purchases for the office.
Alright, fire. Alright, Comms Director Bradley?
Hi everyone. So this weekend I was supposed to film with a local drag artist, Joey Young, but we had to reschedule those podcasts for tomorrow evening. So that's when I'll be moved to filming. And I'm still, working towards editing more podcast episodes and getting those put out as soon as possible with me and Senator Pomero. So yeah, that's all for now. Oh, and I posted about OSGS last weekend.
Thank you. Alright, graphic design coordinator Q?
So I was a busy little bee doing all the fun little mundane things that everyone likes to do, really. But one of the funner, that's a word. One of the more fun things I was able to do was I had a little project and I built a chatbot to take complaints from the student body / faculty for SGA. And it really inspired me to kind of utilize it because it's already made it done. But I want to talk in detail at our next executive cabinet meeting, seeing if that's more of a possibility. Because then I could really fine tune it, make it cool and useful, and then we could blast it everywhere with QR codes, put them everywhere, and then if you want to file a complaint, it's as easy as scanning a code and typing it out. Fun timers. Some more little mundane things. The DC checklist is finished, so if you're going to DC, check it out. Make sure you have everything. I sent that in a few days ago. And then there's the official marketing for the New Year's New Connections event. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then I fixed the podcast logo because it said after dark instead of after hours. So quick little fix, nothing major.
Alright, is that all?
Yeah.
Alright, PPT formative.
I think, yeah, no, I don't have anything for this week.
I approved your survey questions.
Yeah, oh, my survey questions are approved. So SIC committee will be sending those out next Friday. And then I'm gonna send them to you, cause I have to send them to you to get that sent out to like the students and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Alright, and so like I'll send all that to you and then hopefully that stuff will be sent. That's all for me.
Moving on to reports of the standing committees, rules committee.
Nothing to report on what I previously said, just hopefully we can get that set of dues out this week, and then we'll start working individually or in pairs.
Finance committee,
Nothing to report.
comms committee,
Nothing much more to report.
sick.
Nothing more to report.
Alright, and DEI, Ray, is there anything? Wonderful. Moving on to reports of senators. Do any senators have anything to report? Alright, if not, we'll move to old business and we'll move past it because there is no old business. New business, we will start with AAPI's emergency funding and I will yield the floor to Treasurer Geary to give us some more info.
Yeah, so this is the emergency funding request that I received from the AAPI union. They're requesting for 3 events, kind of late Lunar New Year celebration, their AAPI cabaret with Pinnacle Productions, and a general meeting. Everything is within our guidelines, and they are requesting $271.57.
Alright, is there anything to discuss before we bring this to a vote? If not, I will take all those who approve. Any opposed? Any abstentions? If not, then we pass that with 8 to nothing, with no abstentions. Alright, and next will be the International Students Club Constitution. I will give the floor to Arden, as well as the representative we have for the club.
So this is the International Students Club, which Joy and I have built this final constitution, so I will give the floor to her to just give a general layout of what the club is intended for, what its purpose is, and then we'll open the floor to any questions you guys may have.
Hi guys, I'm Julia. I go by G, so just so you know. I'm originally from Italy, so I'm an international student. That's kind of why I wanted to start this club. It's pretty much just to provide support to international students and also just to build a community. I feel no offense, but the international student office is not really doing, like, it's kind of lacking a little bit of building the community, and I realized that a lot of people maybe came up to me from the international student side. They came up to me like, oh, I would love to do this, how did you do that in the past previous experience? And I was like, why not just make it a club and make it kind of more official to ask questions or to build that support to each other. So that's pretty much the spirit of this club. And I don't know if you have any questions.
A couple things I want to point out, just because they're a little bit different than what we may be used to with a typical organization. Within the membership, it is listed that this club will be open to full-time undergraduates as well as graduate students, just for a bit of change. And that instead of going broad with just club members, that we're putting it specifically, any general club member must maintain a 2.5 on a 4.0 scale, whereas any officer must maintain a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. So just want to clarify that, since that's a little bit different than what we may have typically seen in constitutions past.
Alright, does anybody have anything to add before we take it to a vote?
No question. Is it just gonna be like a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, like just relaxed type meeting, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I would also love to work a little bit with the career services because a lot of the international student problems at the moment is the career type of documenting visas requirements that a lot of them are not aware of. So I kind of would like to do some events like career based, maybe a little bit work in the international students office as well. So yeah, community fun and stuff, but as well a little bit more career focused stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else? If not, I will take all those who approve. Any opposed? Any abstentions? If not, the International Students Club Constitution is approved 10-0, no abstentions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Julia, we really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, and with that, we will move to our second open floor. Does anybody have anything for our second open floor? All right, if not, we'll move to announcements. Does anyone have any announcements? All right, if not, then we have our next meeting, February 17th, 2025, and we will not have, oh, sorry.
We have Dr. Sherry Payne here,
Oh,
our interim
Oh my
provost. The camera.
I'm very camera shy, I'm sorry.
Do you want to say anything to SGA before they wrap up their meeting?
Yeah, I just want to say apologies for being late. I was at the Literature, Culture, and Society Department meeting, and we were having lots of good discussions. Kyle did invite me to the meeting, and it was nice to hear all the things that you're doing. And he has
Kyle didn't tell me.
That's okay. I was late anyway. Just looking forward to getting to work with all of you. So it's nice to be here and see all your faces. So
Well,
thank you for having me.
Sorry I didn't know you were going to be.
It's
All
all
right,
right.
is there anything else? Before we move forward? All right, if not, then our next meeting will be February 17th, and we will not have one the following week for spring break. But with that, our meeting is adjourned at 3:39.